You're listening to Generation AI
from LivePerson.
Hello, Generation AI listeners, and thank you for tuning in. It is your host, Nirali Amin, and today I wanted to share with you a very special episode highlighting two incredible brands that are making the most out of their AI investments. This panel discussion took place at LivePerson's most recent Spark event, where we gathered enterprise leaders to discuss how they're successfully getting ROI out of their AI implementations and projects. Ruth Zive, from whom I was lucky enough to take over host duties of this podcast, interviewed two thought leaders, Madhura Deshpande, the VP of Digital Shopping and Sales at Signet Jewelers, and Chris Moloney, Chief Marketing Officer at Mr. Cooper Group. The panelists covered different use cases on how they're leveraging AI to turn conversational data into revenue growth. We talk a lot about how AI can cut costs, empower agents for customer service, and drive efficiency. But this was a very interesting conversation about how AI tools can empower sales teams and improve sales effectiveness in multiple ways. So, a quick reminder before we get started, please take a second to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and leave us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast app. It is always good to hear from you on how we can make Generation AI even better. And without further ado, here's the discussion with Signet and Mr. Cooper Group. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did.
Now it is my turn to chat with two amazing customers and leaders who are actually using LivePerson to optimize and personalize a completely different part of the customer journey. And this time, it's their sales and marketing conversations. They're doing that by empowering their digital sales agents with many of the same solutions that you just heard about, along with some others that have been purpose-built for revenue-generating use cases. As a CMO myself, I'm particularly delighted to introduce today two incredible revenue leaders, Chris Moloney, Chief Marketing Officer at Mr. Cooper, and Madhura Deshpande, Vice President of Digital Shopping and Sales at Signet Jewelers. So welcome to both of you. Today's Spark event, as you know, is centered on the assist phase of the flywheel. And this phase is all about equipping humans with the AI-powered tools and insights and the context that they need to really deliver a highly personalized, customized, tailored experience. So, Madhura, I'd love to hear a little bit from you about how you're using or planning to use AI in particular to really empower your sales agents to close deals and drive revenue.
Well, Ruth, first, I want to start out by saying what a wonderful partnership it has been as we started the AI journey earlier this year. Our first milestone was really implementing what we call our AI summarization. And that has created a lot of efficiencies for our agents. So imagine this. Our agents spend about 2 to 3 minutes on an average trying to wrap up their contacts, their calls, so on and so forth. And with the summarization, it's really giving us time savings around that. And we do millions of contacts every year. So It's a huge chunk, and we really appreciate that. The second thing, and this is in process right now, is the Copilot tool. And what that's going to do is it's going to help our agents give more, I would say, personalized and better responses to customers. And that's all going to be in real time. So that's super exciting as well. And, the tool really uses information from our websites, from our knowledge bases, as well as from prior conversations. It pulls on all of that and really gives that intelligent way of responding, that next best action for our agents.
Love it, love it. I want to go a little bit deeper on how sales agents can actually leverage conversations to drive revenue. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the day with our Chief Product and Technology Officer, Alex Croman, is how LivePerson actually orchestrates experiences across the customer journey by identifying conversational signals and creating policies to surface that right conversation at the right time with the right context. So maybe both of you can share a little bit about how you're thinking of leveraging selling signals in particular. This is super interesting to me as a CMO, to drive actions like proactively messaging customers who are ready to buy, or maybe providing agents with those real-time selling insights and recommendations to drive revenue. And Chris, maybe we'll start with you on that one.
Sure. So just a bit about Mr. Cooper. We're now the largest mortgage company in America with about 6.5 million customers, mortgages in America. And the mortgage is most households' largest investment or largest asset.
Sure.
So it's a very important thing for them. And I think the key here is that we want to communicate with them in the channel they choose, in the way that they choose, and we want it to be a very professional and beneficial experience for them to interact with us. So I think that's why LivePerson is such a great solution for Mr. Cooper to start off. In terms of the personalization, I mean, your home is your home. It's unique from every other home in the world. So we have a lot of data about your home. We know when you bought it, we know the value, we know the square footage, we know what it's worth, we know what you paid, we know your mortgage. So personalization is key if we're talking to you about your home. We have to make sure that it's particularly relevant to you. In the moment, we're giving you information that is relevant to you based on your financial situation. Similarly, I think one thing that LivePerson helps us with for sure is the ability to capture real-time data that the customer may be interacting with you on. So they're asking questions, they're answering questions, they're giving information that allows you to personalize and tailor the experience real time. And so our agents who are using LivePerson are able to create a personalized real-time experience based on that one-on-one relationship they're having in the chat, but also knowing a lot about that customer from our database. And so it's the combination of the two that I think is really magic.
I love it. Let's go for a minute from a financial services use case or your home to a high value, really intimate type of purchase that Signet powers. Maybe talk a little bit about how you're leveraging some of that technology in your case.
Yeah, so we use LivePerson across multiple channels. We use it for chat, SMS, and WhatsApp. And as I said before, we do millions of conversations, and there is this gold mine of data that's available in the platform. So I have been very curious about using it to, to figure out, can we use this for more proactive selling? And, that's how sort of this whole proof of concept really started. So we started small. We pulled about 100 random conversations, and we said, let's kind of put this through the AI model and see what it gives us. And, a pleasant surprise, we actually found 30 really high potential conversations that have strong selling signals. And right now we are in the process of qualifying those leads. And what I'm hoping is soon we'll be able to operationalize that whole process where potentially either on a daily or a weekly basis, we are able to give sort of those leads to our agents and they can proactively either through email or SMS, what have you, reach our customers. And hopefully in the short term, drive more sales and in the long term, build even more and better customer relationships.
Very cool. I want to talk for a minute about conversational orchestration because, in a high value sort of intimate purchase like a home or when you're dealing with your home or when you're dealing with, jewelry, perhaps an engagement ring, it's important to make sure that the customer is routed to the most specialized agent with the right skill set, the right context, the right information at the right time in their channel of choosing. Maybe talk a little bit about how you do that, how you leverage orchestration to make sure that you are delivering that experience to your customers.
Yeah, so essentially we use routing and skills extensively, and we've done it for the last, over 4 years. And the purpose of that is to be able to send the customer to the right person or the right bot to have the right conversation. Mm-hmm. So for example, right now we are in a place where very early on in the conversation, we can determine if, the bot can actually serve the customer well, or if we need to send them to an agent. And kind of taking that same idea forward, once somebody is actually routed to an agent, the skills and the routing helps us to determine whether we should be sending them to a generalist or a specialist or even a Spanish or an English agent. So, all of those capabilities are really helping us do the routing and send customer to the right person or bot, like I said, at the right time. We have done a lot of bot improvements over the last year, and what we are seeing is amazing, really. Our web bot containment actually has gone up from 27% to 42%.
Wow.
So super excited about that. And our CSAT continues to be at an all-time high. It's 90% plus. So obviously, we're doing something right with the bots where the customers are loving what they're seeing. And then when it's not the bot, our agents are able to intercept quickly and sort of, help the customers out.
Congratulations on that, some amazing results. And I know, Chris, we're a little bit earlier in the process with Mr. Cooper, but you're thinking very aspirationally about routing and specialization and how you get the right agent in front of the customer at the right time. Maybe talk for a minute about that.
Yeah, and I think part of the inspiration is, and we talked last night, some of the early adopters to chat did so to reduce cost. And our belief, of course, is that chat has an opportunity to enhance the customer experience. This technology should make for a better, more personalized, more relevant experience, not a situation where you're being sent somewhere else to avoid communication with the human element. So we're big believers in the human element. I think that's the key to what makes LivePerson so brilliant for us. We want to connect you as quickly as possible to the right person who can help you with your unique needs. And in our case, sometimes you have to be a licensed loan officer to answer certain questions. So that's part of a unique thing about our business. They're the specialists in our space where we want to connect you to someone who can actually give you a rate and give you a quote and tell you whether, you know, a home equity loan or a refinancing of your home is a better option. It's a fairly complex thing to do. But the awesome thing is the customers that are chatting with us want to be in that channel. They are choosing to be in the chat channel. It's their channel of choice. And they may even be on their phone, of course. And they may even be on the subway on their phone, of course. And they're doing large transactions about things like, you know, their home on their phone. And so we want to be there to answer their questions and to be their partner on these major decisions that they're trying to make. And so that's why I think LivePerson, the bringing together of great technology and the human element, is so crucial to us.
Chris, that was a great example of how technology can really empower agents to be more attentive, more personalized, more specialized in the moments that matter the most. It's interesting what you say, you know, channel diversity is really important. When I look at my own children, I have adult children that are buying homes, and you know, they need to speak to mortgage lenders, and their preference would always be to do it by chat. You know, it's somewhat of a generational thing, and we see it changing, and that's why, you know, it's so important that we show up where our customers want to meet us.
Yeah.
So one of the channels we haven't spoken about at length is voice. Madhura, I know that your team recently implemented voice AI. Can you talk a little bit about how you're thinking of bringing voice into the digital fold to deliver those really connected conversations for your customers?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, voice bots specifically have been such an exciting addition for us. So we launched our first voice bot, I would say June of this year, and this is really around order status. So if you look at our phone channel, about 15% of our incoming phone calls are really about, where is my order? And you know, there is no reason for those conversations to be sent to agents or people having to wait for 10, 15 minutes on the phone, and they make a perfect use case for voice bots. So we picked that use case, and we actually implemented the first voice bot. And we have seen a 4x growth in our IVR to SMS deflection. So that's a huge deal for us. And it's, again, creating lots of efficiencies for our agents. And then it's a great experience for our customers as well. So we are very excited. We are looking forward to launching even more voice bots later on in the year, especially around things like refund status, repair status, which are all, you know, sort of easy, low-calorie things to convert into voice bots. So super exciting as well.
Very exciting, very interesting.
Now, diamonds are a big purchase. Do people actually buy engagement rings online, exclusively online? Does that happen? Is that real?
Well, you would be surprised, and it does happen all the time, right? And I think pandemic especially really accelerated that whole trend. You know, my generation, I wouldn't ever think of buying like a big diamond purchase online, but it happens. We see that all the time. We have virtual agents who use the LivePerson platform, and they actually do the entire selling online.
Wow.
Recently, we had a success story, I guess, where somebody actually bought a $12,000 diamond engagement ring online, and we were just blown away.
Wow, wow. Well, being able to deliver that customized, personalized, specialized experience, I think it establishes a sense of trust and confidence on the part of the customer that they can make their purchase that way. And we'll probably see more of that in the coming years, is my suspicion. I'd love to know from you, Chris. You asked a great question. You know, you're also dealing with very high value, in many cases, sensitive customer interactions. Do you have an example of where one has taken place online through chat and been really successful.
Yeah, well, homes are a big purchase, right? It's for most people their biggest purchase. So the idea that you could buy a home exclusively by going out and looking at pictures and videos seems shocking to me, but it's happening every day. I mean, the technology is there for you to really go and look at a home, look at the neighborhood, get 3D images of everything. And so, yeah, I mean, we're seeing more and more of that technology take over where people can look at a home and buy a home online. And I think that's related to what we're doing with LivePerson, in that those customers are the types of customers who want to interact with a loan officer on their time, perhaps by SMS, by chat, by chatting with their loan officer. Their loan officer becomes their friend, like their confidant, that they're doing the right thing, that they can afford the house, that they're getting a good rate. And it becomes almost like a real estate agent is to a customer. And sometimes these homes are being bought without real estate agents even. So the loan officer plays a really crucial role in helping that family or that person make a decision that this is the right decision for them financially, the right home for them financially. And it's occurring online. And if you're not where they are, you're missing out on their channel of choice. And so I think what's great about LivePerson is through chat and through SMS and the other technologies that we've been talking about, you're delivering a great experience, a high-level experience, a sales and marketing experience in the channel the customer chooses. What's better than that? I mean, that's the ideal scenario for a marketer.
Agreed. As a CMO, completely agree. I want to thank you both for coming today and sharing your remarkable stories. I especially appreciated that sales and marketing perspective. We don't get a chance as often to talk about that perspective, but it's exciting to know that LivePerson is fueling revenue-generating opportunities, big ones even online. And your stories were great and hopefully have inspired some of our viewers today to consider how they can also deliver connected, personalized customer experiences to drive revenue. So thank you so much both for joining us.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Generation AI,
Automating better business.
a show from LivePerson.
Never miss an episode by subscribing to the show in your favorite podcast player. Please give us a rating, leave a comment, and share the episodes you love. Until next time.